Cool. So I just started the recording.
Okay.
So part of winning the Mompreneur Games is we record these sessions and then I post it on YouTube. I post it in the group. I post it everywhere. So a lot of it is, it obviously makes good content for me, helps provide a lot of value for a lot of people. And obviously you've agreed that that's totally cool and you're fine with that. And then you should, because I do have the note taker in here, you should get access to the recording as well. For your own private uses or, whatever. So
sounds good.
You should have that too.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So you have me for 2 hours. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so I am in a situation now. I haven't talked to this person about the recording, so I don't want to give too many details. But I had someone that I was talking to recently that I know in real life, who is interested in school and would have a very, very valuable skill set to be able to share.
Okay.
And, but they don't know how to work the platform. And so they were basically talking to me about partnering with them to help them get their school figured out so that they can share this skill set that they have. So they've done prototyping and manufacturing before.
Okay.
And so I think that particularly for people who might be in e-commerce or that kind of thing and want to be able to have their own products, he could help them a lot. Like, and so I'm kind of in a situation where I want to do that, but approaching people about finding clients for him and that kind of thing, it still makes me a little bit nervous, but I know that he's really, really good at what he does. He's made like products that are like award-winning products. Yeah. So, but he's only ever done his own. He hasn't done them for other people yet. He's only done them for his own company, but he really loves doing the prototyping and getting the manufacturing and going and that kind of thing. So like I had mentioned it to him and he kind of thought about doing it with the products that he makes, but that didn't seem to spark him. But like the idea of helping other people prototype and manufacture their own products, he seems super, super excited about.
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm interested in manufacturing, but I think that seeing that spark is exciting to me, and seeing people excited about school is exciting to me.
Yeah.
And helping people get going on that. So there's that piece. And I'm pretty sure if we could get that going, it would be a higher value product, basically. Like it would be higher income opportunity than what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I love what I'm doing now. But it's going to be a low ticket thing. And I know that, right? So I'm kind of wondering where to put my energy at this point. And I think I'll always keep the cottage going. I love it, but it's whether or not it's going to be a little bit less of the focus and putting more focus on this project at this point. So if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So basically you have a potential partner that does prototyping and manufacturing. Could be good for e-commerce people or even just people who have businesses that want to have their own products to sell.
Yeah.
You're a little nervous about approaching people to become, the clients. So it sounds to me like you'd basically be his operator. Is that about right?
That's about right. Yeah. So I'd be his growth operator.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so you're not like sure where to keep your energy if you do like the crochet because you like that, but it's not going to bring in all that much money. So I think bare bones, the first thing I think is just getting clear on what your actual goals are as an entrepreneur. I think will really help you. Some of the things that it's funny, actually, I was having this conversation with a client of mine because you spend a lot of time with entrepreneurs and you see these people that are like making 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, even 80, 90,000 a month. I mean, crazy numbers. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to hit those numbers. And it's like, well, do I really need to hit those numbers to live a good life? Right.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of like what, like I would just get really clear on exactly what your goals are.
Yeah.
And then see like what makes the most sense. Obviously, if your goal is to make a lot more money more quickly, I agree. The manufacturing is going to be a much higher ticket item.
Yeah.
The clients that are going to be interested in something like that are probably, I mean, you're talking about prototyping, manufacturing. This is a lot more than just like a drop shipping thing. So these are going to be wealthy, established businesses that are now productizing what they're doing.
Exactly.
So it's going to be much more niche. They're going to be harder people to find,
right?
But the sales are going to be a lot higher, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you there, but again, it's a totally different ballgame because now you're like,
yeah. And so, I think a piece of it for me, I know it's a different ballgame. It's not about the manufacturing for me. It's about seeing someone so excited about what they have to offer and helping them make that a reality, if that makes sense. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, this potential partner, it's not your spouse, is it?
No, they're good friends of ours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just the way that you're like, the way they light up is so amazing.
No, they're just like, they're like our closest friends that live.
No, that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So my first thoughts is I think you could definitely help them out. I would say just get really clear on like the level that you're helping them. Are you really going to step into a big growth operator? Because that's a full-time job, right? Or are you just going to kind of help them out with school and get them started and then you can help establish them? So I think like number one, I would say is just get really clear on what you actually are capable and wanting to do to help them.
Right.
Yeah, and I think like especially just like as moms, we have to just put those boundaries in place of like we all want to save everybody and help everybody, but like we help nobody if we're not setting those healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
Doing a prototyping manufacturing, they're like, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think
and the stuff he makes is amazing. Like it's really, really cool. So
So are these like super original ideas? Like someone who has an original idea, they get a patent, like they go through that whole process, or
I don't know if he's patented. He designs yo-yos, and his yo-yos are winning competitions. And so like he likes to really get in on the nuance of how it functions and then optimizing the function of something to the point where it's like winning competitions and things like that.
Okay. So basically he would aid in the design process.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he does design, he knows how to get the prototyping done, and then he knows how to get things to market and actually selling the product. He's released probably, I think, at least 10 different designs.
Wow.
So
does he help when you say and sell the product? Are you talking about like he does marketing and stuff like that too? Wow. Okay. What's he thinking of like pricing this type of thing at?
We don't know yet. So we need to sit down and have a meeting and figure stuff out. Yo-yos are just so niche that like he has to be continually releasing a new product to be able to keep the business making money because there really isn't a huge clientele. So he's gotten really good at prototyping and design, but and he really enjoys that piece of it. I think that's another reason why he's released so many different designs, because he really likes that part.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not sure on the pricing.
Yeah.
But okay. So here's my thoughts on this. In most of these things, I think if you're going to have a school community, obviously you do a free school community.
Yep.
I would have the free school community, which would just be all about like productizing.
Okay.
So how to take your business and basically even figure out what types of products to be interested in, to add on to and sell. So I'd be like how to productize your business.
Yeah.
and add products to your business.
Right.
Then I think having almost like a coaching offer.
Yeah.
And this would be like one-on-one where he helps them come up with the concept, right? Like does a deep dive into their business, helps them come up with what types of products would be the most successful for their niche, that type of thing. So it helps them come up with concept and design. And that's kind of where that ends. Like you can help them come up with the concept and the design of it, and then that person can go do what they want with that. And then having like done for you services.
Yeah. And that was the piece that I knew will be definitely part of the model, is the done for you stuff. Some of it is the price point that I'm not sure. And it may be that the price point goes up as he's doing it, but I know it'll be a fairly high price point for something like this.
I would imagine the done for you, I mean, $30K higher, right? Like there's no way it's going to be less than that. That's a lot of work. That's quite a bit. That's a pretty intense deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like he can figure out if he wants to do like a deposit type of thing, deposit. And then in the middle of the project, you pay out. And at the end, you pay the rest of it, whatever he wants to do. Like he can come up with whatever payment structure. But yeah, so I would imagine a free school community. In terms of the done for you, again, that's so high ticket that it's going to be a lot more of him targeting people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the people that are going to join a free school community about how to productize my business, like they're not going to pay $30K. They don't have that money. Right.
No.
So that would be it. It's a different offer, really, is what it is. It's the same type of business, same pillar, right? I talk about like the pillar of like who the person is, the beginning of their journey all the way to the end. You want to have different offers at different points of that pillar.
Yeah.
So I think this is a pretty good one. He could even have a couple of courses in there that maybe people can just like a one-off purchase, right? So like there's even like little mini offers that he could have in there as well. He could even do like challenges inside of his community, like how to come up with your product idea, how to prototype. Like he could have like little mini challenges in the community. And then I would directly from the actual school community do the upsell for the coaching offer, which is the one-on-one. And that he could do like 1,500.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that's a pretty fair price for what he's doing. Because you're doing quite a bit, and it's mostly just like, hey, here's what type of things would really crush it with your audience. Here's the design for it. And, and then like a marketing strategy.
Here's your list of like manufacturers that you can contact if they,
Exactly. And then like giving like a generic marketing strategy, the kind of like templates that he can have pre-built that just kind of plugs into whatever people are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the done for you, I would say 30K plus is my thoughts.
Yeah.
I would have to do some market research. I don't know exactly, but just off the top of my head, I feel like it's probably in that price range.
Okay.
Okay. So if you guys are going to go in on this, do you have an idea on what you're thinking in terms of like, I'm assuming he just kind of talked about it. You haven't really talked about it too much with him, or?
Not a lot. More just introducing the platform to him and just, no, we haven't sat down and talked a lot yet, but he's very interested. So.
Okay. And then, so I know one of your biggest questions was like where to keep your energy, the crochet group or the manufacturing.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking is going to be the biggest issue with doing both?
It's how much energy do I have to put into any of it, let alone both. And so can I maintain both of them? Now the crochet cottage, I kind of know the minimal effort I need to put in to be able to like maintain without it necessarily growing. And I would like to do that regardless, but it's whether or not I want it to grow, because I don't know that I can grow both at the same time.
Okay. So what are you leaning towards at this point?
At this point, I don't know that I would want to necessarily be his operator long term, but I do think that I could help him get started and just kind of put some of the things for the cottage on hold for now until that's up and going. And that could really help our family out and help out some of our financial situation that we're in right now.
Okay.
Depending on what we negotiated, you know, him paying me and that kind of stuff for doing that.
So when you say helping him get started,
yeah,
are you talking like you would make the school community for him?
I would have him set up the community, under him, like it's his community, but then helping him figure out like his courses and helping him figure out a little bit of a marketing strategy that he can figure out for approaching people on school. Because I think that there are a ton of people on school that would be really great potential clients. And he doesn't know the platform really yet. He's got an account now, but he doesn't have a community yet.
Okay.
So his knowledge of the platform is still very limited. And so it would be seeing if we can figure out if there's communities where he might be able to go and market, or, you know, we could market the community for him and finding potential clients in those communities and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Setting up like affiliate type things for those community owners and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know how long that will take to get that running for him and to a point where he can hire a growth operator to really help him really get it going well, right? Because I can get him started.
Yeah.
But whether or not I want being a growth operator to be my job, I don't know.
Okay. So basically you want to help him get started on school.
Yeah.
Hoping to make a little bit of cash to help you out because financial stuff right now.
Yeah.
And then once he's started, he's making money, kind of help him hire someone to take over the job, and then you go back to the crochet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind
Gotcha.
of what
Sounds like a great plan. I love it.
Okay.
Okay. So are you thinking you're going to have him like give you a one-time fee to like set everything up and help him get started? Or are you thinking commission? Like, what do you think you're going to do there?
I think a commission would be really nice. I'd have to talk to him and see what he's open to.
Okay.
But a commission would be nice to have that kind of residual income coming in after things are running.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have to figure all that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So like trying to figure out how to help you hit your income goals the fastest.
Yeah.
Something like this is a little tricky because I actually think he could probably sell those coaching offers pretty easily, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be
an easy sell.
like that's going to be real easy to sell.
Yeah.
The done for you, like I said, is going to be a bit trickier.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely doable. I just think it's going to be trickier.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay, so at this point, knowing all of this, how do you feel like I could help you the most on this call today?
I guess so I feel like with the cottage, I kind of know what I want to be doing. This one is new, and there's a lot of territory that I haven't really considered before because I've been really focused on my low ticket little crochet community, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And so I think that might be a piece of it, is like, how do we structure a high ticket coaching offer? How do we make offers that are really valuable, like one-off courses and whatnot in the classroom and stuff like that? So how would we make that valuable for people and structure that in the way that like, if it's not a done for you service, what do we need to make sure is in the offer, in the coaching program for people, if that makes sense? So if the coaching doesn't include like prototyping, right? How do they go through that process and that kind of thing? So
yeah. Okay. So the idea here is the coaching program will help them come up with the design, or come up with the concept, really, like what types of things can they even do. Maybe do some market research together, design the actual product.
Yeah.
And then give them a marketing strategy. So like, once you have this product, how do you actually sell it? I feel like that's a pretty good overview of what I would probably do.
Okay.
And so basically he would meet with the customer and get a really good understanding of their business, do a little bit of market research with them.
Yeah.
So to me, a coaching program is always done with you, meaning there's absolutely nothing I will do on my own time. I do it all with you for two different reasons. One, it's way more scalable with my time than me having to like do stuff randomly.
Yeah.
But two, it also like you're watching me do it. So you're learning a lot in the process, which is part of the coaching experience, right?
Right.
So my thoughts initially are, with a coaching program, he would learn the ins and outs of the business, get really deep in the woods of like what exactly they do, come up with or do a little bit of market research, figure out what are some really good winning products in that niche that solves problems for the clientele.
Okay.
Normally, when we're looking at a product, right, in most cases, if we can get a product that's going to solve the problem of what the coaching offer does, but we can sell it for way less, that's like the best case scenario, right?
Yeah.
So like you could, for a business, are you familiar with Evelyn Weiss?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought her, I don't know if you got it too, but she made actually her first product.
Okay.
And it's this like 6-month business planning, like strategy building, marketing guide type of thing.
Right.
And it comes with like a daily management, like check sheet that you can, use.
Yeah.
So like for her types of business, this is literally what she does. She helps people come up with strategy. She helps them come up with their marketing, all of that stuff. And so she literally just took everything she knows, built out like this planner workbook type thing, and turned it into a product so that people can do it themselves. Similar thing with Goose, right? So Goose, what was he really good at? Literally his entire business was taking all of the data from all the stuff he knows about school and regurgitating to his clients and helping them build school communities that were really good based on the data he had.
Right.
So what did he do? He built out a software that literally scrapes all the data from school and then helps you use that data to improve your school community. Right. And now that's Wingman. That's what he uses.
Yeah.
So that's essentially the concept of like productizing what you do. And so that's probably what he would be doing, is he would be learning the ins and outs of someone's business. Okay, how can we take that and come up with a product that makes sense, whether it's a software, whether it's a physical, tangible product, whether it's like whatever. Doing some market research about that audience. What are things that like, what's a problem that they have? How can we solve that problem with a product? And then helping them design everything. So helping them design the whole product. If it's a planner, if it's a workbook, he would help them design it, right? If it's a physical, tangible thing, he would help them design it, whatever that might be. And then basically they have the designs, they have the concept, they have exactly what the product would be. And then he can give them like a marketing strategy, like, okay, here's the best marketing strategy. You're going to run ads to this. You're going to, you know what I mean? But more like templates. It wouldn't be something he would customize their marketing strategy and all of that. I wouldn't do that with a coaching program like that, because that's more done for you. And then at that point, now they have the marketing strategy, they've got the products, and he can give them, like you said, a list of manufacturers. Here's, now that you've got all this is exactly what you have to do next, is step-by-step guides to get it actually created.
Right.
And here you go, right? And he can create those guides beforehand as well, which I obviously highly recommend, so that when he does talk to these people, he has guides that he can give them that says, like, here's the best manufacturers, here's the contact information for them, this is the process to actually getting everything manufactured, here's kind of the timeline that you would do, here's how you do a pre-sale, here's how you do this, this, and this, right? And then it's just kind of like teaching them how to do it.
Right.
And I would start at 1,500. I would say over time, he can increase prices as he gets testimonials, right? Because it's hard to sell a high ticket program when you don't have any testimonials. But he does have his own story, which is why I think he could start with something as high as 1,500.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Now, the other thing with that is the process is, so it'd be like 1,500, and then judging from his own experience, looking at how long that timeline is for that program, right? So it'd be like 1,500 for. So would you say 1,500 for just a design, like walking them through one design type thing, or 1,500?
Yeah, one product. I would not do a product line. That's ridiculous for 1,500. I would do 1,500 per product. So I would say the coming up with the concept and doing some market research probably could be in like one call. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get good at it. And so he'll be able to kind of recognize trends of like, oh, you're in the fitness category. What do people in the fitness category want? They want to lose weight. They want to do these things. So like, what's included in your program? What types of things do you teach? And how can we, create really fancy dumbbells or something like that, right? Like, so eventually he's going to kind of figure out, okay, here's some different niches, and like, here's like just what's popular in that niche.
Right.
And obviously I'm assuming he's probably already studying a lot of this stuff anyway. So, yeah, so the concept and market research, I almost feel like you could probably do it in like one single session, honestly, with them. I can't imagine it would take that long, maybe 2 sessions tops. Designing the actual product, obviously that's going to be a little bit more extensive.
It's like if it needs prototyping and not just a design and throw your logo on it. If it's a prototyping thing, it can take a while.
Yeah, so I would not include prototyping in the coaching program.
Okay.
To me, the coaching program is coming up with the design, letting them know that there's prototyping that needs to be done based on the product that they're choosing. He could let them know and say, hey, based on the types of product that we're creating here, it's recommended that you do prototyping. Here's the guide on how to do that, or why to do that, or, or I'm happy to do that for an additional cost, right? Things like that. And that's, again, now you're bordering on to like the done with or done for you types of services, not really done with you coaching. So I would not do the prototyping as part of this. I would do just an actual design. Maybe they do that on a call together where he's designing it. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And they're kind of designing it together. Maybe that can take like 3 calls tops.
Yeah.
And then the marketing strategy, again, if all of this stuff is pre-built, the marketing, the guides, all of those things. So marketing strategy and manufacturing guides.
Yeah.
That's like 1 call. So this is about 5 calls.
5 calls.
That's on what I would imagine. So it's about $300 per call. And I would probably I like to do my coaching calls for 2 hours long, because I feel like 1 hour, you're just getting into the meat and potatoes by the time you're done with, you know what I mean? Once you're like an hour in, you're just now getting into like all the good stuff. So I usually like to do my calls about 2 hours, but it doesn't always go 2 hours. It's like, if we're done before then, we can just end it, right? But at least I give myself 2 hours time. So yeah. And again, that's what I would start with. But as he's doing it, he'll start to figure out like what makes the most sense. Like, oh, for the actual product design, it really only takes me like 1 call to do it, because I'm just so darn efficient and good at it. Right. Like, that's great. Right. Now we're getting paid more for our time. So I would say start with this expectation. And then of course he'll probably have more reasonable expectations as to how long it'll take for him to do it.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. Interesting. And so then if it's kind of a one-time purchase per product, or like a the coaching program is a one-time purchase per product, then it makes sense to have it more like a classroom purchase rather than a subscription, right?
Yeah, I would definitely do it as a classroom purchase.
Okay.
He could also do like a really low ticket tier, like $39, and you get access to a Q&A call with him once a week.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of at a point where I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what questions I need to ask. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, so my first thoughts are obviously, you have a successful crochet community, meaning you get people in there, people enjoy it, there's a lot of good activity in there, and it's a lively group, right? So the foundations of building community. So I have no doubt that you'll be able to help him build a community and understand the actual concepts of building a community, because it is different than just like posting to social media, right?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect. In terms of the design for the community, obviously there's branding. He'd have to like build his business, things like that, in terms of like coming up with a name. So when it comes to branding, I always like, yours is really great, your name, the Crochet Cottage, because it's clear, but it's also clever.
Yeah.
And like, if you can come up with something that's clear and clever, that is ideal, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, though, it can be challenging to do that. So if you're not able to come up with something like that, I always say I'd rather go with clear, not clever. Because I think sometimes people try to go with clever and they come up with something that's not clear, and then nobody finds you. It's hard to, exactly. So if you don't have something that's clear and clever, go with clear.
Prototyping and manufacturing.
Seriously, yeah, like that is way more preferable than some weird obscure thing that nobody's gonna know, right?
Yeah.
Because at least you'll get someone who wants prototyping and manufacturing, right?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he could even just like say something like productize it.
Yeah.
Right? Or like turn your biz into a product or something. Like he could just come up with something.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to say productize it is already a community. Let me see. Because I think I'm in a group like that.
Okay.
Productize. Productize your method. That's the one I'm in. I think it's with Laura Brohl. It's specifically about like journals and like stationery products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, I'll send you this one.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm going to send it to you on school. It's very female oriented. It's obviously designed to like attract females.
Yeah.
But it might be interesting to check it out and just kind of see like how she's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the best group in the world, but no, it's just like, honestly,
it's also like, what he, like, it's still making a product and selling it and helping people do that.
Yeah, well, I just realized too, this was a 3-day pop-up course, so that makes more sense. I'm like, this is kind of a dead and weird group. Like, what's going on here? That makes a lot more sense. And actually, it's kind of impressive, the fact that it was just a 3-day pop-up course and it's got all this stuff still in it. But, okay, yeah. So, but definitely check it out, just because you can see, like, I think she has her videos in there too.
Okay.
I don't know if she'll let you in, but if not, I can show you another time.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, I think, just kind of looking on school. First of all, always look on school and see what other people who are in the same niche are doing, who's being successful in it and who's not. Yeah. That's going to be really, really helpful. So I would say, number one, look at other school communities and see who's successful and who's not.
Yeah.
I do see a few productized groups in there, which is a good indication that there is a need, right?
Yeah.
So when I see saturation, that always tells me there's enough of a need to justify the saturation. None
Right.
of them looked all that compelling to me, which also tells me that it's probably pretty easy to stand out.
Okay.
So that's always a good thing when you're looking
Yeah.
at like, and there's a bunch of them, but none of them look very good.
Yeah.
That's always encouraging to me because it means, oh, there's a need because there's a whole bunch of them, but it should be pretty easy to stand out.
Yeah.
So I think if you just, yeah, I would go with, this is productize your method. I would do something like that, productize your business or something.
Okay.
It's clear, it's a little clever, and yeah, I like that.
So another thought I had was, does it make sense to approach people who have e-commerce communities to see if they are interested in having
So
him
do you know
as
Jen Ritchie?
So I haven't actually met her, but we've had some interactions on school.
Okay.
Nothing
so she's
big, but
she's incredibly nice.
yeah.
So I can reach out to her and see if she's interested in chatting.
Okay.
She would probably be the best person. Most people who do like e-commerce, honestly, are kind of sketchy. Like I think there's like a running joke in all of school about drop shipping and e-commerce.
Oh yeah, there totally is. But that was one of the interactions I had with Jen. I was like, man, you're on like the front page of Money.
Yes.
You're doing
Shopify. Yeah.
It's amazing. You're showing them how to do it right.
So what's awesome though is she's been around forever. So she's been doing this for like a decade.
Yeah.
So she's literally followed Shopify through the years. Like she's really good at it. And that's why I was thinking like she's the only person I would even consider talking to. Honestly, that's because I know she's legit, you know? And that's literally what she does. She coaches people on how to build like really good stores, and she helps them like get in touch with people that can like stock the stores. I don't know all the fancy names for that, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The wholesalers, things like that.
Yeah.
So I think she would be a good person to talk to, because I'd be curious how many people she gets that want specific products made, right?
Yeah.
Or like have a very specific product need or desire.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, oh, well, let's just like help you find a supplier, instead of like, oh, what if we had that custom made for you, you know?
Yeah.
So that could be kind of cool. So yeah, I think it's worth reaching out to her. Like I said, I don't know any of the other ones. There's kind of a big thing about drop shippers and e-commerce people, so I don't really want to or care to reach out to anybody else. But I can vouch for Jen. She's really good. So yeah, I think she would be good. The one I'd be more interested in having you guys reach out to is specific people that have really successful school communities.
Yeah.
So like Andrew Kirby's one I would think of. Andrew and Aiden.
Yeah.
And actually I do have a connection to someone on their team.
Okay.
Because they poached my team member.
With Aiden, but I mean, Aiden has so many interactions. I don't know if he'd remember.
Yeah.
Interacting with me. So
yeah, no, I could reach out. So actually, the lady we used to have in our team as our copywriter that would do our copywriting coaching, they poached her. So they took her in,
they took her into Synthesizer?
Yeah, she joined their team. So I was like, darn it. Can't compete with them. So
that's a tough.
But I can reach out to her and be like, hey, do you think this is something that they might be interested in? And if so, I can get you in touch with them.
Okay.
So I can definitely reach out to her. Like, we're still on good terms, obviously. She's amazing. So I can definitely reach out to her. Yeah, I would say even reaching out to like Goose, I think would be a good one.
Okay.
They're just such like a fun team that I feel like having products that are super wacky and fun. They already have their merch store. So I even
they have a merch store. In school?
Goose does. Hold on.
Goose does.
Is it goosify.io? I think is his. No, it says World Tour. Where?
Okay. So his merch is set up on his website.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, but not in school because I
No,
know
no,
that
no.
he's
It's his
like,
own website.
okay, but
So
he's
school,
teasing having merch
yeah.
stores.
So school is going to release a merch store. It's going to be
Okay.
connected through Shopify, is my understanding, actually.
Right.
So I don't know exactly what the UI of that will look like.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, yeah, they're going to have a merch store that will like have like a little merch tab at the top. So I'm actually super psyched for that because
Yeah.
I want to sell our own merch too.
I
So
know. Everybody wants to sell their own merch.
yeah, well, I'm like, how cool would it be too, like
It'd be
mompreneur
awesome.
shirts and stuff like that, like
Yep.
chasing clients and toddlers, like, be super cute. So I like that. But okay. Gosh, what is the name of his thing now? Okay, let me go into Wingman because I know if I go in there, is it school.goosify.io? Okay, that's Wingman. Let me log in. I haven't logged into his in a while. There we go. Okay, here's the merch. Schooldrip.com is the name of his.
Okay.
I can put the link here in the chat.
Sure. Yeah.
You can check it out. But it's mostly like typical like phone screens or phone cases and
Right.
shirts and jerseys and hats and it's like typical stuff that you just kind of get a print on.
Just with a fun, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like print on demand kind of stuff.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's like exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
But being able to kind of offer like, hey, like actual products that we can sell,
Yeah.
that could be helpful for your community, but could also, because like part of it too is I'm thinking almost like for them, I almost feel like maybe a trophy of sorts,
Yeah. Yeah.
could be like a really cool thing. And if he could sell like customizable trophies, like, hey, you can have your own competitions in your own school communities and buy these custom trophies and like customize them to your specific community type of thing. Like that could be kind of a cool thing.
That would be really cool. That'd be
I feel like that would
really cool, actually.
I feel like that would fit his vibe,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say, and then look at other school communities as potential clients.
Yeah.
Right, who are the biggest people. So in that case, I would honestly just go to each of the categories and pick the top 10, right? The people on the first page. Most of them are the most successful.
Yeah.
And just start joining those communities and chatting with those people. So yeah, one of the best strategies. So actually Olga, she's the copywriter that used to work with me and then went to Synthesizer. But she posted in Synthesizer so much that she was the top of their leaderboard. And even though that's a group of like 30,000 entrepreneurs, they almost all knew her because she was just so active in there and her posts were so good because of course she was a copywriter, right?
Yeah.
And she was just so helpful and so valuable in that group that at the end of the day, she became very useful to them and very valuable. And they reached out to her and was like, hey, we want to offer you a full-time job here.
Yeah.
And so if you can do that, kind of the same thing, like I just went to Costa Rica. I got to hang out with Goose. I've actually known Goose for several months before that, where we've chatted on and off of school, just because of being in his school community. I've sent a lot of people over to his school community. There was like a whole month where every single week they, new people would join the calls. And this was before everything was blowing up with the ads and with the Hermosi tsunami and all of that.
Yeah.
And it was like every single week there were new people in the call and all the new people were always like, oh, Michelle sent me here. Michelle sent me here, And so it was like, I became valuable to him, not because I could help him in a coaching type of capacity, right? Because he's obviously above me, but I was able to help him by providing value to his community. I was at the top of the leaderboards. I was able to get people into his group and help grow his group and get people onto the calls. And so I provided value in a different way, right? Yeah. So if you can go into those communities, kind of find the people that you want to work, like that you would like to work with, join them, join those communities, just become really valuable in them. There's always a way that you can be valuable to a community.
Okay.
And then as you get more valuable, they'll start to reach out to you. Same sort of thing. The Business Sisterhood Synergy Group.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I made a whole bunch of really good posts in there. And then Netta, the lady who runs it, she actually sent me a DM and was like, thank you for posting such valuable stuff in here. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, you're welcome. Can we have a chat? And she's like, sure. And then like I was asking her a bunch of questions about how she gets traffic to her community and what does this look like and what does your KPIs here look like? And we had a whole conversation about it, which was really awesome, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you provide value, people notice.
Yeah.
And so the more that you can do that in those communities, the more likely you are that they're going to notice you, and then they'll consider what you're offering, and you'll be able to have that conversation with them. So yeah, I think that would be a really cool. That's definitely something I would say you want to do. Okay. I would have him already like create all of those different resources.
Yeah.
The way that I think could be cool. So when we're building a school community, the most simple format that works really well. There's a few different things we want to keep in mind, right? So one, obviously you want to create a really good vibe. So as silly as it sounds, emojis everywhere, right? Like GIFs, fun, like you just want to keep it really fun and light. In the classroom, you want to have the start here module, especially if you're, if there's potential for people to be new to school. You want to be able to tell them how to use school, how to use the community, how to do all those things. Yeah. And then the middle should really be a roadmap that helps them get to their first win. The faster you can get someone to get a win, the more likely and faster they are to actually buy with you. Right. So you want to think about what's the quickest win you can get somebody. And a great example of that is actually Lucy. Right. So my client, she, and I'm sure you've seen her in the group, Lucy Hutchings. Yeah. She crushes it because her offer is like, I'm going to help you lose 15, 20 pounds, whatever. Right. As a dietitian. And the thing that she does in her group is like this sugar challenge. Right. And a lot of these women in 1 week will lose like 5 pounds. Now, I mean, a lot of it's water weight, right? Or bloating or things like that, but they feel so much better. They are stepping on the scale and it's reading less, and it's literally a week, and it's really easy to get to that point, right? Yeah. And so it's really easy for her at that point to then pitch a service, because it's like, hey, if in 1 week I was able to get you to lose 5 pounds, imagine working with me for 12 weeks. Yeah. Right. So if you can get people to a really good win really quickly, then they're way more likely to want to buy with you. Right. So one of the things I would have him do is figure out like what that roadmap will be. And ideally, it's literally a step-by-step process. Like step 1, do this, or day 1, do this, day 2, do this. So almost like a challenge of some sort. Yeah. So that was one of the reasons why I was wondering if it might be better for him to make it a low-ticket paid group versus a free group, just because then it's not a lot, but it's a teensy bit of skin in the game for people to actually have a reason to take on the win. Because one thing I'm noticing with my free community is that there are a number of people that I'm not, that are joining because they want the fun of it, but not necessarily that they want, or like they want the information, but they're not actually trying to get that win. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a couple different things. One is, how big is the pain point? Yeah. Right. A pain point of learning how to crochet, for instance, is not really a pain point. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not as dire as say like, hey, I have fibromyalgia and I'm in like severe pain every day, and you're giving me a 7-day course to solve my problem. Right. So like, we want to think about kind of that level of pain. So that's kind of number one. Number 2 is the community. If they come in and nobody's doing it, why would they do it? Why would they? Yeah. But if you can have a community where lots of people are doing it, so sometimes having things like, hey, we're going to have this roadmap in it, but as a community, we're going to do this like once a month. Right. And then that way it just kind of like kickstarts everybody to do it together. And then that way people are actually doing it. Right. So I would say you want to have like the roadmap set up there as an evergreen challenge, but you want to engage the whole community and get them all doing it together. Right. And if you can turn that into a game, that's where like the magic happens. Right. So we think about things like Goose's group with the Blitz. Yeah. The leaderboards are crazy in Goose's group. Like, it's insane the amount of activities that he gets every single month, which is why he's, I think, the number 4 community on the entire platform right now.
Yeah.
Because they get an insane amount of activities every month. Why? Because it's gamified to such a crazy level. One, it's the buddies, right? The accountability with the buddy system, which is actually what I stole with this recent one. So I was like, it just works so well, right? Yeah. But also like really good prizes. They're actually prizes people want, you know? Yeah. Mojine and I went crazy to get Costa Rica, right? And these other people went crazy to win Costa Rica. Yeah. And now that's just going to be the prize. Like, hey, we're going to do these every quarter. We're going to have a cool event like this. And so each of the winners will get an option to do it. Right. So I think if you turn it into a game and have like a highly desirable, with a highly desirable prize. Yeah. The prize doesn't have to be a big vacation or a big trip or anything like that. But you could even, I mean, I've had success in the past having mompreneur games and stuff with literally something as little as like a content creation kit. Cost me like $100, right? But I just sent it to them on Amazon. So at the end, I'd get their address and then I'd just ship it to them on Amazon. They'd get it a couple days later. Right. So like he could do something similar, right? I think there is something valuable to having it either be a trip or something that's like sent to them. The one-on-one sessions, I think, are great prizes too, but it doesn't have the same power as like something else. Yeah. Yeah. So coming up with like a highly desirable prize. So I would say if he can come up with a roadmap that's in there, have a challenge of some sort, and have some sort of like a monthly competition that he can turn it into a game with some really cool prize at the end of it, that really, really helps. Okay. So you have the start here, you have the roadmap, and then you also want to have something that's like a mystery. So like a mystery gift, you know, whatever he wants to come up with. And that mystery gift ideally is something that's unlockable at level 3. Right. So there's a whole lot of data across school that basically shows that if you can get somebody to level 3, which is funny because level 3 isn't even that hard to get to. You can get to that in like 10 minutes if you really, if you're halfway decent, right? Yeah, yeah. And so if you go in and you have something at level 3, the people who get to level 3 are, I forget the exact statistic, but it's like they're significantly more likely, first of all, to stay retained, to not leave, and stay engaged. But then they're also significantly more likely to spend high ticket money with you. Interesting. So getting them to level 3 is really crucial. So for me, I have the power up, which has like over 15 hours of footage, right? This video is going to end up in there too. And so it's got a whole bunch of footage that people can watch of like me working with clients. Yeah. And then I also have it so that their chat, they cannot have a chat with other members without getting to level 3 first. Right. So I lock chat. And I do that for 2 reasons. One, it's obviously the gamification of getting them to level 3, but then also scammers, right? If there's a spammer that comes into my group, at least I know they can't DM people until they've made enough things. Yeah, and usually their posts are pretty good giveaways. So we don't really have a big spamming in the DM problem because, you know, they say a bunch of weird stuff and then we get rid of them before they have a chance to DM anybody. Yeah. So yeah, so level 3 is a big one too. Okay. And having some sort of like a mystery, that could be a one-on-one call with him. Yeah. Which I recommend because at the end of that, he can also turn it into a sales call. Right. So like maybe it's a 1-hour call, 30 minutes of like really high intense like value, and then 30 minutes of like, hey, does it make sense to like talk about working together? Are you interested in this? Like, you know, that type of thing. Yeah.
Now, would you have that level 3 unlock in the classroom type thing? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So like if we looked at mine, I have the start here, the games, and the power up, and this is the level 3 unlock. Okay. So I have a whole bunch more because obviously there's a lot here, but yeah. But yeah, he could also like gamify other levels too and have stuff like that also.
Okay.
So those are just some of the basics, I guess, when it comes to like actually building out like a school community that's going to be successful for high conversions. The actual strategy, We laid it out a lot in the funnel building thing today for the day 4 that I had posted. I laid out a lot of it there. So basically what it is people join the group. I have it set up so that they get an auto DM. That auto DM basically says, hey, are you trying to start a business or grow your business or start a new one? And then they come back and say, either I'm trying to grow it or I'm starting it, whatever. And it's like, oh, awesome. Can you tell me more about the business you're trying to start or the business you're trying to grow, whatever. They tell me about their business. I determine, is this a business I can even work on, right? If it's drop shipping, if it's real estate, if it's a local business, anything like that, I'm like, not even going to touch this, right?
Yeah.
That's not my deal. But if it's a business that I can work with, then at that point, I'll basically let them know, like, awesome, like, what's your income goals for this business?
Yeah.
And then they'll tell me I want to make 5K, 10K, 20K, whatever they want to make per month. And then that sounds amazing. What do you think is like the biggest struggle that you're dealing with that's stopping you from getting to 10K, 20K, 30K, whatever?
Right.
And then they'll say, oh, I'm really having a hard time getting good leads, or I don't know what to post on social media, or, whatever. And then like, oh man, that really sounds like that sucks. Would it be helpful if we hopped onto a quick 15-minute call? I'll show you around the community and some of my resources that can help you get to 10K without having to worry about what to post on social media.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, yes, that sounds amazing. And then I send the link for my 15-minute call.
Right.
And then on the 15-minute, because again, when we're doing sales, we want to have as many touch points with them as possible. Yeah. So on the 15-minute, literally, I show them the school community, I screen share, show them all the different resources in there. And then I start to talk to them and just get a bunch of questions. I try to answer as much as I can on the call. And then at the end, I just ask them point blank, because I am not the type of person that likes to try to hide sales calls. Like, I'm pretty upfront about what it is. But at the end, I'll just say, like, are you interested at all in any of my paid offerings? And they'll say either yes or no. And I'd say about half of the time they say yes. So if they are, then all right, awesome. My prices range anywhere between, 45 to like 10,000. Is that a price range you're comfortable with? Almost always yes, but closer to the 45. I'm like, all right, good enough. Let's get on a call, right?
Yeah.
And then we just go ahead and book the actual sales call, which is an hour-long call.
Right.
And then on that one's like the one where like we really deep dive into their business. What exactly is going on? What do they need help with? All of those things. And then at that point, that's when I say, like, all right, would it be helpful to talk about what I offer and how I can help you do that? And then yes, okay, cool. And then I go over my programs, and I always try to pitch the highest thing, even if I don't think that they'll pay for it, because part of that too is price anchoring. So if I sit there and pitch a 10K service, being able to get them down to like a $200, $500, or even a 45, whatever, way easier to do to get them to say yes to a 45 when you just pitch them 10K. Right. So always price anchor with the top dollar. And if they're immediately like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could do that. Like, okay, great. How much can you pay? And then we find out their budget, and then you can kind of come up with what makes sense in their budget.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of like the sales flow I would go with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I'd probably do is just have him make the school community, have him make all of his resources, start to go into other school communities, make valuable posts about productizing businesses, things like that. Why having a product is so important, right? Yeah. Like, what's the percentage of sales in these businesses that are products instead of services? You know what I mean?
Right.
How they can improve their incomes by doing that. Like, just start making really good posts in these other groups. You'll naturally get people into the group.
Right.
One thing I will say though is it's hard to pitch in other groups because a lot of them don't allow it.
Yes.
So most of the time, the traffic from doing that comes from them being curious about what you do and clicking on your page, which then shows the groups that you own.
Right.
And if you don't own his group, that strategy is not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be something I would have him do, not you.
Yeah.
And that can mean you have his login and you do it for him that way.
Or I coach him through.
Or you coach him. Exactly. You just coach him how to do it and he just does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I would definitely have him do that.
Okay.
And then that way you guys are in there, and then you can just be like his engagement person. Like, you're the one that's in there. You're the one that's hyping everybody up, tagging people, welcome to the group, all that type of stuff. I also have found I do onboarding calls, which is basically just my 15-minute call. And so every once in a while, you'll notice, like, I'll make a post. It's just like, hey, if you're new here and you haven't had a chance to chat yet, I'd love to schedule a quick onboarding call. I show you everything in the community and see how I can help you, hit your income goals.
Right.
And then usually I get like a handful of people that'll book a 15-minute call just off of those.
Right.
So those are really helpful too. And it's literally just the 15-minute. Again, you show them around the community, see how you can help them. And if it does make sense, get them onto a sales call.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just process for a minute.
I know it's a lot.
It is.
I'm literally giving you like the spark notes of my entire program. So like, it's okay.
Okay. I'm kind of at a point where now I don't even know what to ask you for.
No. That's valid. Like, you're still in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
And it's hard too, because like, it's really his business.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do all this stuff because you can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, that sounds great, I'm going to go do that. Like, you're just getting this information and you're going to tell him
information that I can like relay back.
Exactly. So yeah, I would definitely, I think kind of finding some of those product groups, showing those to him so he can kind of get an idea of what people are doing. And obviously, like, I'm happy to support you guys and help you guys do all of these things too. So like,
thank you.
Don't feel like you're on your own with any of this. But yeah, I think it's just kind of going through. And I'll also, by the way, this is like notes that I've just been taking as we've been chatting. I will give you email editor access to this as well. So
awesome.
You'll get these documents. Yeah. But we do have like an hour left. So if you want, I'm happy to chat about the crochet group as well. If you wanted to kind of talk about that.
That would be awesome. So I'm excited because I've got my first podcast interview tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. And then Hazel, who has the crochet group that Sam's
that
talked
was
about
featured,
a couple times.
Yeah.
She said that she's gonna do an interview with me as well for the podcast. She can't this month because they're doing some big launches and she's like swamped right now, but she said probably next month she's gonna do an interview with me. So I've got a couple lined up and I'm hoping that I can approach some like smaller like designers and influencers as well, to see if they would be interested. I have a group member who suggested one particular designer that she knows, and said that she would probably love to be on a podcast. She's like, she loves being on camera. So
yeah,
great. That would be fantastic. So what I'm really hoping is that like those are going to go up on YouTube and they'll just be free in the community. But what I'd really like to do is also ask them if they would like to do a Q&A within the community, but that's in my paid tier. So when I can start getting those lined up, that's when I want to start opening up tiers, is having the Q&As with crochet influencers and designers. Yeah, particularly designers. And so I haven't yet broached that with the people I've lined up yet for the podcast, but that's something I'm going to be asking them about.
Okay.
And then the other thing I would really like to see if I can do is see if they're willing to, I would like to open up affiliates once I can, and then see if they're willing to share a pattern that they have in my paid tier that people have access to, and then they get the affiliate for anyone they brought into the community. So I would probably use their affiliate link for their episode of the podcast. And then they can also share their affiliate link on their own socials and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking for that. And then I have some other things that I'm putting into the classroom that can either be like a one-time paid thing, or you can get on the tier and get the course included in the tiers.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you have for the tiers and the one-time paid courses.
Yeah. So the one-time paid courses, the big one is probably going to be a collection of templates. So it's going to have like Canva editable templates that people can do like project tracking, and they can start doing their own design planning and stuff like that. And then the big one would be a pattern template where they can take the design that they've made and then they can make their own pattern out of it that they can then use to sell or whatever. And so that collection I want to have in the classroom that they can purchase. And that's one of the big reasons why I'd like to have guest designers to help inspire people to want to do design. As well as kind of them talking about their business and that kind of thing to help people understand how the workings of crochet design businesses work.
Yeah.
Because one thing I've noticed is that people make the most money either in crochet, either from selling yarn and hooks, or it's selling patterns. Selling things that they're making with their own hands is very, very difficult to actually make a good amount of money. So that's kind of what I'd like to do. And then eventually, once that feels like it's running well, I'd like to have a higher tier that's actually like about helping you design and set up your crochet business. So now you have patterns. How do you get those to market? Is kind of the full concept of the journey I'd like to take them on.
Okay. So we have the collection of templates for the one-time paid course.
Yep.
And then for the tiers, you said having like helping them set up their business.
Yeah. So that would be like the upper tier.
Yeah. What was the other tier?
The other tier is like the Q&A with the designers and some of their patterns.
Okay, so like unique patterns and stuff.
Unique patterns.
And then you have the templates. How much are you thinking of selling the templates?
I was thinking that the templates I probably would do the full collection for at least 30, maybe higher. I hadn't decided fully yet. And it may be that I start low and start increasing the price. But 30 would be like the low end.
Okay. And then what were you thinking of the prices for the tiers?
I was thinking of starting at $9. A lot of patterns, like if you go to Etsy and stuff, they sell for somewhere between $5 to $20.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And then what about the second tier?
The second tier, I don't know. Okay. And that one, I don't think I'd be implementing right away. I am not fully confident in my ability to coach people on their business yet. And so some of it is like getting my stuff up and running well and potentially even selling my own patterns and some of that kind of thing before I start teaching people how to do that themselves.
Yeah. So. What if this third tier, for the time being, was one-on-one crochet instruction where you actually taught people how to crochet?
Yeah, that could be it too. I have that in my classroom. I've had one person who purchased it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I could do as well.
So teaching how to crochet, and then how much did they pay for that?
I don't know. It would probably depend on if I'm doing it in groups or if I'm doing individual.
Well, so you said someone bought it though. So somebody bought it in your classroom. How much did they pay for it?
It was like $10 for like 45 minutes. So it was like super cheap.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. Okay. So that's not what we want to do.
No.
Gotcha. Okay. So I would say the top one, so the top tier, I agree with you. I would not I would steer clear of teaching people how to grow a crochet business until you've done it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what I would do is just focus on using your group to grow a crochet business.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So I would think the top tier, what I'd probably do is like, I wonder if you could even do something as like weekly group calls, right? Where everyone can hop in and like get their questions answered. And then like a one-on-one call. So they get one single one-on-one call with you on a monthly basis. And then they also get access to weekly group calls.
And that might actually work really well because I have a lot of people who are kind of looking at my community and going, how the heck are you doing what you're doing?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I feel like $49, I would start there and just slowly increase it.
Okay.
Because like it's hard for me to gauge what I would what I'd pay for it because I mean, I'm not in a position where I feel like I would pay anything to learn crochet, to be quite honest, right? Like,
yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah, but they might. And so I would say like my first instinct is to start at 49. Like I definitely wouldn't offer your time for anything less than 49. Yeah. I'd want it to get closer to like the 99 a month, but I don't know if that's reasonable. I don't know in the crochet community if that's something that they would do.
And that's what I mean with like this community. I love it. And it's fun. And it's a passion project for me, but it's definitely low ticket. And I know that at this point, right?
Yeah. So what I would do is I would have different one-time courses, which is like teaching you how to crochet by pattern.
Yeah.
Meaning you have a picture of like, we're going to crochet this cute bunny, right? Think about how long does it take someone to crochet that bunny? How long, like how much instruction, how complicated is it? How many calls am I really going to have to do with this person? And then come up with a price point based on $50 an hour.
Right.
So, and these one-on-ones, like it's just crochet. I wouldn't do more than an hour. You don't really need to, right? So I would do like an hour-long call with them. Okay. So I think if you had a one-on-one call, weekly group calls for $49 a month, I feel like that's a great deal.
Yeah.
For someone who wants to learn how to crochet, I would be really surprised if you didn't at least get a handful of people sign up for that.
Okay.
And then just have like different really popular patterns. And maybe that's something as simple as literally like posting a poll.
Yeah.
In the group to see which ones they want to know.
Yeah.
And then the weekly group calls can really just be like in the tier is really just a Q&A. So whatever people are working on, they can hop up and be like, hey, like I'm needing help with this. Like, how do I get through this or whatever? And you're just there to help them and guide them through it. And then the one-on-one calls, again, whatever their actual project is. So it's totally individualized depending on what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
And then this by the pattern means, hey, these are like patterns that I know how to do that I think are really interesting. I would do a poll and be like, hey, here's all the different ones that I'm thinking. Maybe do it seasonally too, right? Yeah. Like right now we're going into November and December. So maybe some Christmas patterns, Thanksgiving, things like that. And say, hey, you know, here's some patterns. Which ones do you guys like? And then the most popular two, maybe you put them up in the classroom and you sell them again with the idea of $50 per hour.
Right.
So the more complex ones, if you really think it needs multiple sessions, it's going to be priced higher at 100, 150, whatever makes sense.
Right.
But get rid of the $10 for 45 minutes. That's absurd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I would have a series of, and then like just keep them in there so people can do them at any time. And really what the classroom would be is you would have the collection of templates that people can just buy and use. Yeah. You could even call it like a crochet vault or pattern vault or something like that. Yeah. And then having the different patterns that they can just buy individually. That includes the pattern, but also includes like a one-on-one session with you to help them out throughout the process. Yeah. Right. Or 2 one-on-one sessions, again, depending on how complex the pattern is.
Yeah. The other thing I can see the weekly group calls being good for is people who are working on designs and wanting to have someone to work through problems. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I feel like the $49 a month would probably be a really popular one. I would imagine with all of these, you'd probably get some sales for the templates and then a lot of people on the 49.
Yeah.
Because that's the best deal, honestly, looking at all of this. Like if they're avid crocheters, they just spend one time $30, get all the templates, And then they subscribe to this, and then they're just in there getting the help with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So to me, that would be the best, like make the most sense.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want you to think about. Like what's an upfront expense that I can have them do? And then how can I get them to keep paying me, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would also include the bottom tier with the top one.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Everything in the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's your income goals with your businesses? Like, what's the amount that you really would like to start making for you to feel like you
for us
don't have financial struggles?
At least $5,000 a month.
Okay. So you do realize that's kind of hard to do with these prices.
With these prices, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the other thing I would think of then is a comprehensive crochet mentorship.
Okay.
And that can be something like $499. And maybe it comes with like, you send them the best hooks, right? Like something like that, right? They get access to all the templates. And they get like a 12-week program with you where you guys do, I don't know, a new pattern every month or something. So like 3 different patterns, each increasing in difficulty.
Yeah.
And the goal is that they start off as beginners. By the end of the 12 months, now they're amazing crocheters.
Yeah.
Right. And so if we had something like this, and the price might need to be adjusted, that's just kind of off the top of my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if these people really want to get better at crochet, and you could sit there and offer them something like this, it's a 12-week program. I work one-on-one with you. We meet like once a week or something, right? You sell 10 of these and you just hit your goal.
Right.
Right. And then if we could also just like start increasing all of these, that would also help.
Right.
So I think this might be a decent starting point.
Yeah.
Is to set all of these things up. Again, have these patterns in the classroom, have the templates up in the classroom, have the tiers up and going, and then have this also in the classroom.
Yeah.
With the idea of you're going to actually start selling people into these things.
Right.
Because like a group of crocheters is fun and all, but it's not going to make you any money, right?
No.
And so we have to be comfortable enough to actually start selling to the people that are in our group.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the struggle has been, I don't know what it's been figuring out what is valuable enough to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know patterns do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
So I would say too, like, right, we know patterns sell. You said selling patterns and selling yarn and hooks.
Yeah.
And so if we could, like you said, do this teaching people by pattern, ideally that would be a really good selling point. And adding in one-on-one calls makes it a higher value. Yeah. If people will pay $25 for just a pattern, right, they're also probably going to be way more likely to spend $50 to get the pattern and a one-on-one call with you.
Right.
Right. So grouping in that also helps you kind of stand out. Like, hey, if you were to buy this pattern, and I would even call that out in the marketing, like when I'm making the posts, hey, this pattern, you can get it, somewhere else for $25, maybe even have a screenshot of that, or you can buy it here for $50 and we hop on a call and like, I'll help you do it,
Yeah.
So something like that, like just make sure you're calling that stuff out because that is important.
Yeah. One thing I wonder with that is once someone can, so one of the problems with patterns is whether or not someone can read one. And that's an issue that I see come up.
Okay.
But then the other thing is that once they know how to read a pattern, is getting on a one-on-one with me actually going to be of any value?
How long do you think it would take you to teach someone how to read patterns?
I don't know. I don't think that long.
Like 1 hour?
Yeah. But that was, And so the other thing I'm wondering is if there's a lot of things I want to put in the classroom as freebies, but I'm wondering if they're too valuable to put in as freebies.
So it's a little tougher in a niche like this, to be perfectly honest, right? Because again, we kind of talked about the pain point. The pain point here really isn't there, right?
No.
So it's a little harder. That being said, I think people pay, especially in today's day and age. Think about how to read patterns. Can someone just go into YouTube and type in how to read patterns?
Yeah.
And they can get that information, right? Same thing with the different templates, same thing with how to crochet, same thing with all of that.
Yeah.
But there's something valuable about being a one-on-one with somebody. Right. And just that human connection. And I'll give you a great example of that because I have my mastermind, which is $500 a month, right?
Yeah.
And I've got plenty of people actually paying the $500 a month. And I've got a handful of people that got in at my pre-sale price, which was very, very discounted. But what was interesting to me and was when I was pitching the pre-sale price, some people who I did not expect to join the mastermind because I figured, how would they benefit from this? They did. And they joined it simply because they wanted to be able to have access.
Right.
They wanted to be able to have access to me, to the people in the mastermind, and to that human connection.
Right.
And so, you know, and I think it's important right now we're in like the age of information, right? Which is like literally all of the information in the world is at our fingertips at any given moment. And so nowadays people don't really pay for information.
Right.
I think that era is ending.
Yeah.
And especially they're calling it the antitrust market because we just went through a market where everybody promised the moon and the stars and sold, you know, horse crap.
Right.
And so people don't really trust anything anymore.
Yeah.
And they are realizing, why am I spending all this money on all this stuff when I can just go to YouTube and get it for free?
Yeah.
So people don't really pay for information anymore. They pay for one-on-ones. They pay for implementation.
Yeah.
And even something as simple as how to read patterns. Yes, someone can go to YouTube and do that. But if you're encountering people in your school community, there's a reason they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So you could easily be like, hey, if you're struggling with reading patterns, would it be helpful to hop on a quick, you know, hour-long call and I'll teach you how to do that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be amazing. Okay, cool. Here's the course link.
Yeah.
Go ahead and buy that. Inside is the link to book your call. Yeah. And bam, now we're done.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So people really want that human touch. So it's kind of the same thing. Even the comprehensive crochet mentorship, like they could sit there and Google it, like realistically, but they're going to want the one-on-one of actually having people teach them. Right.
Right.
Same thing with the crochet patterns. You know, like, yeah, I could watch a video about someone making it, but I could also be on a call with someone and talk to them and show them what I'm doing and get advice. So instead of me sitting there and finicking and getting pissed off at YouTube because it doesn't look like what the video looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can get that help. So, yeah, I think giving away information is great. Yeah. What you're selling here is not the information. What you're selling is the time with you.
The time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Which everybody and their mother wants to be like, oh, I want to scale my business so that I'm not trading my time for money. It's BS. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, right? Until you're a huge person with such a big brand that people will buy your books, right? Just because they want your books. Like,
it's going to take time.
Yeah. So don't even think about it from that perspective. Yeah. Let's just get people buying your stuff, spending time with you. You're making more money that way. And then slowly growing, again, the tiers, even something like this, the weekly group calls, the one-on-one, right? The designers, the patterns. Like, yeah, someone who's serious about crochet and wants to spend time with other crocheters and wants that one-on-one guidance, they'd pay $50 a month, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, what I have going on is I have 2 coffee chats a week which I'm
Okay.
thinking I may cut that down to 2 a month.
Okay.
They really like people really like them. But it's interesting because I've gotten a different group every time. Like it's not the same people showing up every time yet. Um, but I'm getting, for the size of my community, I'm getting reasonably good attendance. Like I'm getting at least 5 people.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I had 6. Which I know is reasonably good because I've shown up in communities that have hundreds of people and there's, 5 or 6 people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was going to say ours reasonably get around anywhere between 3 and 10, depending on the day. So yeah. And then like I've been in other groups too that have thousands of people and they get the same attendance we get.
Yeah.
So like you're absolutely right. Getting 5 people in a group of like less than 200 is phenomenal. Like that's really good.
Yeah. And so like if I cut it down to 2 a month, that gives it a little bit more scarcity, but also would make the once a week, like in the tier, a little bit more enticing because that's more time, right? I'm not quite sure how I would do the timing on it because I have such a global community. Like I have a lot of people all over the world.
So with timing, you're not going to be able to help everybody.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes, like, obviously, if we can time it the best, that's great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't get so hung up on the timing.
Okay.
And even something like that, you can do a poll in the group and be like, hey, what times work the best? Like, we're limiting the coffee chats to these specific days, right? If we were to do it on this day, what time is going to be the best for you guys? And give them a few
I'm thinking more for the paid tiers.
Oh, the paid tiers. Okay.
Because if they're paying for it, then,
Yeah, no, of course. I would still do the same thing.
Do the same thing. Just do a poll.
Yeah, do a poll. We'll have them tell you what time is going to be the best. Again, you're not going to help everybody.
Yeah.
So, people who are going to show up to it are going to show up to it. Not everybody's going to be able to show up to everything, and that's fine. Yeah. You can also record them and be like, hey, we have the recordings up in the module for that tier.
Yeah.
And if you, are not able to see it, we'll have the recordings up for like the next 4 weeks. So like every 4 weeks, you get rid of the oldest one, add the newest one type of thing. Right. So it always has like the last month of ones. So it doesn't get like muddied up. So you could definitely do something like that. My recommendation, so you're talking about 2 coffee chats a week. That's definitely way too much.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think limiting it will help you get more repetitive people.
Yeah.
Going to 2 a month though, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, if they're too sparse, then it's not something that people can like remember and have on their calendar, right? Okay. If it's once a week, it's really easy for someone to say, oh, every Thursday at 10 a.m., right? We do this.
Yeah.
And then it's way easier for them to actually show up versus like every 2 months. And then it's like, oh, or every 2 weeks, then it's like, oh, is this the right Thursday or is it not? Do I look it up or do I even care that much? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree. I would definitely do less than 2 coffee chats a week, but maybe go down to like once a week.
Okay. My reason for doing it twice a month was because I can get a different set of people in the morning than I can get at night, right? And so it's like, okay, which set do I prioritize then, right?
Prioritize what makes the most sense for you.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the business is not going to scale if you're trying to accommodate too many people.
Everybody. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I know it stinks because we'd love to be able to accommodate people. And I actually came into this when I was first starting my coaching business because there are 2 different types of moms in the world that want to start businesses. Ones that are working a full-time job and ones that are not working and they're stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And I tried by thinking, okay, I'll have 1 call in the mornings for the stay-at-home moms and I'll have 1 call in the evenings for the working moms.
Yeah.
And the working moms never showed up to any of them.
Right.
Like, why am I showing up when nobody's going to show up? They all requested. They're like, I can't come to the 10 a.m. because I'm working. Can you do one in the evening? Yeah. I started doing it in the evening and nobody was showing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't just you're not going to make everybody happy.
No.
So it's like, all right, people are showing up to the 10 a.m. I'm cutting the evenings. I'm just going to stick to that. And if they can't make it, it's not my problem, right? And it stinks, but like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And that's where I'm torn, because I am getting attendance at both.
Yeah. So which one are you getting more attendance?
I don't know. It's kind of split because it's still relatively new. Like, we've only done 3 so far. And the first one was the most attended. It was a Saturday morning. And then the Monday evening was like 1 less person. And then the last Saturday, I had 1 less person than that. So it's been kind of split.
Okay. Yeah. I would say just run a poll.
Okay.
I would run a poll and be like, is evenings or mornings better for you guys?
Okay.
And just find out, because also you might have people that just kind of join because of serendipity, right? Maybe mornings are not the best, but that specific morning they just happen to be there.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're thinking, oh, mornings must be the best because that's when this person showed up.
Yeah.
But it's really not. It just happened to be an off morning.
Yeah.
So I would say do a poll, find out what's better for everybody, evenings or mornings. And if it's kind of split half and half, then it doesn't really matter, right? Like, you're going to miss half of them. But
I did a poll to find out where to, or when to have them to begin with. Because someone asked if we were going to do anything.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And then it was kind of split half and half.
Yeah. So I would even honestly just do it again. Just be like, hey, I've noticed like we're cutting down the calls. We're going to go from twice a week to once a week, which means that I'd like to do them either in the mornings or the evenings.
Yeah.
Which is going to be better for you guys? The mornings at 10 a.m. or like, and basically just give them like, which one do you guys want me to keep? The Saturday mornings or the whatever evenings, right? And then have them choose, and whichever one has more, I would go with that one.
Okay.
I mean, if it really is split half and half, like 5 and 5, then just pick whatever's best for you. But yeah, I would go with whichever one has more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about? So one of the things that I'm not sure about yet, but I'm curious to find out is, so a lot of the people who are coming into my community now are just finding me organically. I have a feeling that some of them will buy from me, but I think that some of them just want a place to hang out. Which is one of the reasons why I also wanted to work with the designers, because if people are following designers, they're more likely already purchasing patterns and stuff like that. And if they're purchasing patterns, they're already buyers. They're not looking for free things, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Just give me a second. My water's like right there.
Yeah, you're fine.
So that was one of the reasons why I was wanting to do like the podcast with the influencers and designers, because their audiences are probably ones who are already purchasers. They already are in that habit.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I was wondering is whether or not running ads would be beneficial. I want a little bit of money coming in to be able to do that, but
so I'm gonna screen share your community. So right off the bat, my first thoughts are here in the description. We see, need a place to unwind, grab some yarn, and come to our cozy corner to learn, share your creations, chat, and be inspired by fellow crocheters. this all sounds great, but it sounds like a place for people to come and hang out.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you don't want this to be a place that people come to hang out, then we need to change this.
Right.
Right. So those are some of the things, like the messaging that we use is who we're going to attract.
Right.
So my first thought is, if you want to attract serious buyers, I would change the messaging to attract serious buyers. You might get less people coming through the door, but they're more likely to be people that are going to buy.
Right.
Right. So instead of something like need a place to unwind, grab some yarn and come to our cozy corner to learn, so, all of this stuff, I would say something like, this is the #1 community for serious crocheters or people serious about learning how to crochet, to become like so good at crochet that people would buy their designs.
Right. Okay.
Because it showcases that, like, this is not just a place to hang out. Like, this is people who actually want to get really good at crochet.
Right.
And that would be the messaging, because this is like how to crochet for absolute beginners. That's fine. I like that. We have testimonials, which is good. More testimonials. And yeah, like some of this is pretty good, but again, I would just go a little bit harder on, like, this is a place for you to become really good at crochet.
Yeah.
Right. And then the classroom, I would have all the different stuff we talked about. So like build out the tiers, build out all of that. Is this one a hobby plan? It is. Okay. So you can't do links on the side.
No.
So I would also have like maybe a start here post that's constantly pinned that has some hyperlinked things in it. And so the hyperlinked things would be like, if you're new, here's like how to introduce yourself. Make sure you check out our introduction module, which goes to like hyperlinks to the learn how to crochet module that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And then having some other stuff in there, like if you want to upgrade your, your membership, here's the link to do that. And that's your plans with your tiers. If you want to work one-on-one with Jenna so that she can help you, become a avid crocheter, right? Here's the link to do that. And so you just have like all those links in one spot that's easy to find. Because as it is right now, unless they're in the classroom, which, by the way, a very small percentage of your members are going to actually even go into the classroom.
Yep.
So you're kind of just leaving this to chance that they're going to even find this.
Yep.
And you don't have it on the side. So like.
So I don't, but I send a welcome post link. Rather than having it pinned, it gets DM'd to them when they join the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would open the DM with a this or that question instead.
Okay.
Because if you're sending them links, they're like, oh, this person's trying to sell me something, because you are, right?
Right.
And so instantly, they're probably not even going to look at it, because they see a link. They're like, oh, this person's trying to sell me something. One, kind of gives a skeevy vibe, right?
Okay.
And then two, like, I'm not even going to look at this because I don't want to be sold to, right?
Okay. Well, it's very clearly like, this is a welcome post. So
yeah.
It's like, check out the welcome post. Like, there's no sales in it.
So. Yeah, but it's also a visual thing.
Okay.
So like if I get, for instance, if I get a text message, right, and I open the text message and there's a link in it, that's the first thing my brain sees. And instantly I'm like, this person's trying to sell me something. I'm not even going to read it. So like you're relying on them to read it to see that it's a welcome post, when to them as the consumer, they see a link, their brain is saying this person is trying to sell me something. They're not even reading it.
Okay.
Right. Versus starting out with something that's just like a this or that question. Right. Which is like, hey, or even something more simple like, hey, how long have you been crocheting?
Yeah.
Or are you a new crocheter?
Yeah.
Or have you been crocheting for a while? Right. Yeah. This or that question.
Okay.
And then they can come back and say, oh, I've been crocheting for this many years. Awesome. At least now you've engaged them in a conversation.
Yeah. Well, I usually do that. So it's not like my DM isn't only the link.
Yeah.
It's like I have my questions set up to ask those things. Yeah. So I jump into the conversation.
Yeah.
In the DM. So it's like, oh, awesome. You're like new to crochet. What inspired you to want to start type thing?
Yeah. Yeah. So what I would do is just go through that DM setting sequence. I would not put any of the links in the auto DMs or in that DM sequence.
Okay.
Until you get to the end of the DM setting sequence and you're literally booking your discovery call or the onboarding call. Right. And so the goal there is in the DMs to not really get them into the classroom to do all the stuff. It's to get them on a call with you.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's where the sales happen.
Right.
So the goal is you send them a this or that question, they engage, you then go through the what's your biggest struggle? Like, tell me a little bit more about that. What's your goals? All of those different questions. Would it be helpful if we hopped on a quick call? I could teach you, or I could, see if, first of all, show you around the community and see if I can help you hit that goal.
Right.
And then yes, then you send the link and you have them book the call.
Okay.
And then now you have a bunch of 15-minute calls booked and you can hop on those calls and see if they're a good fit for a sales call.
Right.
So that's going to be the sequence that's going to get you sales. So that's kind of number one. Like, if you can get all the best traffic in the world, but if you don't have a sales sequence set up that's actually working and converting people, you're not going to make the sales.
Right.
So I would definitely start really leading with that sales system.
Right.
And then I would just, like I said, change some of the messaging to make it actually interested for like people who would buy what you're doing. And I do really like the idea of working with the influencers and designers, because you're absolutely right. Like, those are people that are following designers. They're more likely to buy designs. They're more likely to buy all of those things. Yeah. And it also is a really good incentive for the designer or the influencer to promote what you're doing because it's an affiliate.
Yeah.
So I like that idea too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how many like 15-minute calls are you aiming? I mean, obviously everyone would be ideal, but typically how many 15-minute calls out of people who join the community would actually get booked? Do you know kind of like the aim for like the percentage of people that you're booking?
Yeah. So when you started this or that question, you should get about 10 to 20% of those people should book a 15-minute.
Okay.
I feel like you should, because yours is also like a hobby.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier.
Yeah.
Right. Meaning, like, my group, these are people who want to make money. I'm obviously a business coach. They can smell the sales pitch a mile away. Right.
Yeah.
So when I sit there and say, hey, let's hop onto a quick 15-minute call, there are lots of people that don't want to do that because you're going to pitch to me. Right. And even though I don't pitch at all on that call,
yeah,
there's still that preconceived notion of like, this person's going to pitch to me.
Right.
Versus something that's like in a hobby niche, like what you're doing, where it might not be as obvious, right? Like, hey, we're all here to like learn how to crochet. Would it be helpful if I hopped on a call and found out, showed you around the community and see how I can help you?
Right.
Like, obviously there's still a little bit of sales in there, but it's not as salesy as like, oh, you're trying to hit 5K, let's hop on a call, right? Like,
right.
That's a lot more salesy. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So I would suspect you'd probably be at about 30%.
Okay. All right.
The other thing too is the follow-up. So they say that about 80% of sales happen on the 7th or longer follow-up.
Okay.
So what does that tell us? That means we have to follow up with more people. And so sometimes in the conversation, you might get people that stop responding or they start ghosting you or whatever. Just keep following up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we get nervous about like, oh, I've DM'd this person 3 times and they haven't said anything. Like, I'm bothering them, I'm spamming them. Like, it's really awkward at this point, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just because that person's busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep following up, and it's not a no unless they actually say no.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay.
Sales calls was not something I was like, yeah.
Anything over $100 really needs a sales call.
Yeah.
There are some very, very talented people that can sell things through DMs that are over $100.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of trust, rapport, and sales skill to be able to do that.
Yeah. And so if I'm wanting to do that like $500 package, then that's kind of a given. But if I were to focus more on the tier stuff, then sales calls would be beneficial, but not necessarily as essential. Or
I think it depends on your skill,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay.
I think you could. I mean, I've closed $1,000, more than $1,000 deals in DMs before,
Yeah.
but I had a lot of trust with those people, right? Like I knew them for years.
Yeah.
So it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
So I think, like, again, it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
And how much trust is there? How long have you known them? Is this like someone who's brand new into the community and you barely don't even know them yet? You've never seen them on one of the weekly calls and you're trying to pitch them on something? They're probably not going to buy, right? In the
Right.
DMs. They're probably
Yeah.
going to need a call with you.
Right.
But if they've like shown up to all of the different weekly calls, they know who you are, you've given them a ton of value, and you're just DMing them and you send them a link, they'll probably buy, right?
Right.
So I think it depends on, one, your skill, but two, also how warm of a lead they are.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I'm really nervous about is I love how my community feels.
Mm-hmm.
I really love how my community feels, and people love to be there. Like I have a lot of people say how much they love to be there.
Yeah.
I also know that I need things to shift for my family, and we've got to be able to get something else going. Like my husband can't do construction for forever, right?
Yep.
And so I'm worried about hurting the vibe of the community for the sake of making sales, if that makes sense, or attracting people that.
How long will the community exist if you don't make any sales?
Yeah. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to change what I'm doing for sure.
Yeah. So I think sometimes that's kind of the brutal truth, which is like we have to make money to be able to do what we do.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to set up people's businesses for $50, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't pay my bills, and therefore I'm not able to do it, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I've had plenty of people that I've known that are like, hey, can you like do all of this stuff? And I'm like, my time is spent right now because I actually have paying clients. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And not to like be rude, but like if you pay me, sure, but like I don't have the time capacity to be spending doing free projects for people,
Right.
And so and that's like, that's okay, because I think it's okay to realize that your family has to come first.
Yeah.
We all want to do everything for everybody,
Yeah.
but our family is always going to come first. And that means that we have to make money. And my husband's in construction, so I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
The countdown to be able to retire him is on, and we are so excited because I understand what that's like, right? To have someone that's like coming home, their knees are like beat to crap. They're, constantly exhausted. They're on their 13th round of work boots for the year because work boots do not last.
No, they don't.
And they're so expensive. And, every Christmas you buy like 20 pairs of pants because all the jeans are going to rip and it's going to, they have to go through all those.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it. Right. It's not easy. So I fully commend what you're trying to do, because I'm in the same boat and I'm doing that. And I understand where you're coming from. And if you want that to be a reality, you're just going to have to sell. Like, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to kill the vibe, though. And the way I'll explain that is, even like in my group.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's a friendly vibe, or do you feel like it's overly salesy?
Yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah. Even though I am very clearly selling stuff in it.
Yeah.
Right. Because when I sell stuff, I'm selling it from a genuine perspective. I'm not doing it in a weird salesy way. Right.
Yeah.
And you don't come off as a weird salesy person.
Okay.
So I do not see you changing the vibe of your community by offering things and saying, hey, does anybody want this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think changing some of the messaging on your about page, just to make it clear, like, hey, this is a place for people to get so good at crochet that they could sell their stuff if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Right. And I like maybe even go with that exact phrase.
Yeah.
But, really just making it really easy. Like, we're for serious crocheters. That way the people that come in a little bit more likely to actually buy. Right. Are serious crocheters going to destroy the community?
No.
Probably not, because they're just serious crocheters, right? Like, probably not. So you're going to get a lot of more people ready to buy, still going to keep the community vibrant. And you just make posts periodically, once a week or so, that just says, hey, I'm doing this. If anybody's interested, comment this below and I'll send you a DM.
Okay.
You know, and then periodically, like once a week, hey, I'm offering onboarding calls this week. Is anybody interested in just hopping on a quick 15-minute call? I'll show you around the community and see how I can help you get better at crochet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be super salesy.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and if nobody comments on it, whatever, you move on and you try again next week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But some of, like, I like the ideas of the one-on-ones. For some reason, it's easier for me to get on a call than it is to spend that same hour recording.
Yes.
Right?
I agree. This is why I like to record my calls. What we're doing right now. This is my content, because I hate sitting and trying to record and perform and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. And so, like, the idea of doing the podcasts versus tutorials is far more appealing.
Yes.
But then I figured out how to be able to do demonstrations and stuff like that on the call. And it's just so much like doing that one call, that $10 call was, I don't want to be working for $10 an hour. But I got an amazing review and I learned how to set up a call to be able to do demonstrations. And I think that that's going to be super, super valuable if I do something like that, you know, one-on-one type thing in my tiers. So it was actually really helpful for me to reevaluate what I was considering doing for my tiers. So I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I think like that's what people want, right? Like they want that one-on-one time with you. Yeah. So selling that to them, start off with the 49. You can always increase it later if like it's just selling off the shelves. So general rule of thumb, anything over like 30%. If you're selling over 30%, it's easy to be like, I'm just the best salesperson in the world. Like your prices are too low. Increase your prices. The average sales rate for a good like salesperson is about 20 to 25%. Yeah. So you want to be around there. If you're selling more than that, increase prices.
Increase prices. Okay.
Yeah.
So the one other thought I had is those calls at the $50 level. I've got a lot of people in my community who are crocheters wanting to start crochet communities. And so it's like, do I position that we focus on talking about how to crochet? Or do I position that as come and ask Jenna anything? You know what I mean?
The $9 one?
No, for the 49.
For the 49?
Yeah.
Let's see. What did we put that as?
So
weekly group calls.
Group calls and one-on-one call, right?
Yeah, I would just do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 49. If they want to talk about building their own crochet community, sure, whatever, right? If you want to ask questions about crochet, if you want to talk about building your own crochet business, whatever it is, I would just have them, anything.
Okay. Yeah, I like this a lot. Like it simplifies things significantly over what I had been kind of thinking.
Yeah. And I think too, like if you're gonna if the goal is to teach people how to start crochet businesses, you need to have a successful crochet business.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so I think focusing on the designers, the patterns, like having your own patterns that people can buy, having it all in the community, having the different tiers where they just get access to you for Q&As. I feel like that's going to be the best method for you. And then again, like just that mentorship well to help them.
The weekly group calls, I don't feel like I could tell them how to start how to do a business, but I can tell them how to have a good community.
Yeah.
Right.
And start there. Like obviously do not tell someone advice that you don't know. That's a terrible idea. But like, if they're asking about like how to start a crochet business, you can be very honest and say, hey, this is what I'm doing with mine. Right.
And this is what I've seen other people do.
Exactly.
But I don't have that full experience yet. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's also true in anything, right? So what I mean by that is like, I'm a business coach, but I'm going to tell you what's worked for me and what I've seen work for other people, you know, and of course the basics, right? But like, I'm not going to tell you some big fancy thing that like doesn't make sense to me because I've never seen it or done it or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. And the same thing with most business coaches, right? So if you're going to be a business coach for crocheters, that's great. You're going to do the same thing you're doing now, which is just, I'm going to tell you what's working for me and what I've seen works for other people.
Yeah.
And I think as you get more experience with that, as you start to make money, you'll also gain that confidence, and then you'll be able to kind of reposition it, which is, it's the same exact service and offer, but just with a little bit more experience behind it that I feel now comfortable saying it's business coaching.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Was this helpful?
It was so helpful. Helpful.
Awesome. I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
Let me see. Stop recording.